Today we're going to do some training on the KeepTruckin driver app. Um, when you first log in, this is the screen that you're going to come to. So first you're going to notice that you have some red. You have a red dot up in the screen. On unsigned logs, you have a red one, and on log edit suggestions, you got a red one. Anything that's red is letting you know that something needs your attention. So we'll start with the red dot up in the left-hand corner. So all you got to do is tap the red dot. That red dot takes us to another screen where now it's beside messages telling us that it wants us to click there. So we click there, and then by my name, we have a red dot, which means I got a message, and there it is. So that's how you get messages. And let me get back to the regular screen here, and we'll cover the unsigned logs and the log edit suggestions. First, in the blue box, if you tap that screen right there is your log edit. The little yellow banner that runs across the top. Now, you can accept that, or you can accept it on the first page I showed you, or a lot of times you're not on that page, or you're looking at your logs here. You'll see that same driving event there. So anyway, all you do is you just tap on it, and it wants you to view the log. All right. It wants you to view the changes that are going to take place if you accept this in your log. Otherwise, and if you need to compare it, you can hit current log compared to edited log and either accept, which would be green, or reject, which would be red. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. And of course, it's going to ask you, are you sure? So you're going to tap on yes. All right. So now you've got red circles here in your duty or on your last 14 days. So the red circles, again, like I said, these are letting you know that there's an issue and it needs your attention. So you'll want to hit, let's go to Tuesday. We'll hit that, and all that's saying is you're missing a signature. The reason you're missing a signature is because you made changes that affected yesterday's log after you signed it. Now it's going to make you sign again. So you just go ahead and hit sign, and then sign log. Now your signature, it may require you to put it in, but once you do, it's gonna stay in there. So then you just hit agree, and then hit the back button. And now you would want to do the same thing for Monday because it's got that line or that red exclamation point. Just hit the signature, sign log, and agree. Then the back button. Now you notice all your red stuff is gone. So everything that needed your attention before you started your day, that is done. All right. So, but be sure before you accept any log edits that you do look at it, because if it affects your past days and you accept something that wasn't yours, then it may throw you into several violations on your previous day's log leading up to today's log. So anyway, we're going to go back to the home, and you see that we've got no messages or anything there. Okay, so now that you're getting ready to start your day, you're going to want to do your pre-trip. So what you can do is you tap the off duty that was at the bottom left, okay, and you hit on duty, and your location, you can hit the circle, and it will determine your location for you. And then on your notes, just type a P, and you see that pre-trip inspection comes up. So you'll go ahead and hit pre-trip inspection and then save. So now, as you're doing all your walk around and checking all your fluids and listening for air leaks, um, checking your brakes, checking your airlines, check your permit book too, because you got to make sure those things are within date and you got nothing expiring. Once you get all that done, then you'll come back and uh, you'll want to put yourself, well, you can either go ahead and start driving, which if you do, it's just going to kick you into driving mode. Okay. Driving mode turns into, it's a big screen. The screen turns into, it's got a big circle and it tells you how much drive time you have left. And it just ticks down as you're driving. Okay. And underneath that, there will be a little uh, tab that says driving. That's how you'll change your duty status whenever you stop and whether you go to the rest area or a restaurant or something like that, then you'll hit that and that'll take you to that'll give you the opportunity to change your duty status to on duty, off duty, or what have you. So with that said, we're going to go to the logs. You're on duty, okay, but you see that you have no vehicle. So what we want to do um, is go ahead and assign a vehicle. So tap the vehicle and look for the one that you're going to be driving for today. And we'll try and see. Now, the way our system is set up, we have it to where a pre-trip inspection is required for vehicles. So you don't have to, if your system is set up this way, you don't have to go and enter the pre-trip and go on duty status at that moment that I showed you earlier. You can wait until you do this. So anyway, you go to log into your truck and you hit continue. All right, so on your vehicle inspection, it gives you the general information, the odometer reading, pre-trip. Your inspection type is a pre-trip. If there is a problem with your truck that you see, you want to hit parts and then run through and find, whatever it is that may need attention. So let's say, like the driver's seatbelt. If you want to, if there's something wrong with that, you would hit defect, and then it'll come up in defect type, whether it's a minor defect or a major defect. So let's say it's a major defect with your seatbelt. Hang on a minute. And you would want to enter notes. All right, so we could put frayed. And then hit save at the top. And now it's going to tell you that you need to go ahead and sign. So we'll go ahead and sign. Hit done. And then you would hit save again. Now the vehicle inspection is complete. You would hit. It asked if we would like to add a trailer, which of course, in our business, yes, you do. You want to add a trailer, so you would enter, whatever your trailer number is, and then hit next. Now the same thing with this. This gives you the general information, okay? And there's parts in case you have something wrong. If there's nothing wrong, then you don't even have to hit parts. So just hit sign, and then hit sign inspection report. Tap done, and then tap save. Now a little word of warning for some people that's just starting. Done and save, done and save. You got to get into the habit of clicking up there in the top right twice, or sometimes you forget and then any changes or things that you've made, it doesn't accept it, and you have to go do it again. So, all right. So while we were doing that, uh, the app was looking for the truck. So it found the truck, and now it's asking us to pair. So we're going to pair with it. And it has come up vehicle 132. And you see that beside the vehicle 132, there's two green lines, and it says ELD. Two green lines means that everything is functioning properly. All right. But if you tap the 132 current vehicle, this takes you to the identification of the vehicle. Okay. It lets you know that a dash cam is installed. And you can even manage the dash cam and just type that, and it gives you the information there. You could view an image, which if you tap view images, it's going to take a picture currently, whatever that truck is doing. Okay, so this is going to take a second, but this truck is actually in front of the shop. So as you can see. So anyway, you can do that to make sure. And what you're doing here is making sure that if you have a camera that that it's functioning properly and it has a good view. So let's get out of the view images. Okay. If you do have some problems with the vehicle and or with the dash cam and stuff, if you hit troubleshoot there, there's some tutorials it'll take you to help you find the problems that you're facing. Okay, so let's back out of manage dash cam, and we're still in the vehicle screen. All right, so if it's the end of the day, which we'll do this again, you would hit leave current vehicle, and we'll show you how to do that in a little bit. All right, so we've done our pre-trip and all that, so we're going to take off driving. So I hit on duty. Now I'm going to tap driving. Which your drive time is recorded automatically. Okay. If I wanted to put, let's just do personal conveyance. If I wanted to do that, or a yard move, I can just change my duty statuses there. So, but like I said, whenever you start driving, the screen will change, and there'll be a clock on there ticking down, letting you know how much drive time you have left before you have to take a break. All right, so we got to enter a note here. And then hit save. All right, so you see how personal conveyance, that banner came up there, the green banner? That's letting you know that you have personal conveyance selected. So when that is selected, any driving that you do is going to be logged off duty. The line will turn green, but it will still be logged as off duty. If you was to log yard move, which let's disable the personal conveyance, okay? Are you sure you want to disable? Yes. Okay, so now if we go in there and we select yard move and put in our note, you'll have a new banner come up that says yard move enabled. Anytime that you do any driving in yard move, it's going to be in the on duty. It's going to be on the on duty line. So that's the difference. And when you're driving on duty, or when you're doing regular driving, that's going to be in your driving line. When you're doing a yard move, that's going to be in your on duty line. When you're doing personal conveyance, that driving is going to be logged in your off duty line. So let's go ahead and disable yard move enable. Okay, so let's say that we're driving now, and I wish I could get to the screen to show you. Uh, but we're driving right now, and let's say DOT pulls you over. So let's go over how to uh, go through a roadside inspection. You can slide your screen over like this, or you can hit the hamburger up there, and it'll give you the option. But see on the third row down where it says DOT inspection mode, hit that. Now, if an officer wants to see your logs on your tablet or your phone, then all you have to do is tap begin inspection. Okay. So once those load up, this is going to give you this is going to let him see your log for today. And all he has to do is swipe left or right, and he can see the previous days for the past 8 days. So that's pretty easy for him, and you can blow it up, and reduce it. So and then when he's done, all he has to do is hit the back arrow and give you your phone or tablet back. Let's say that he wants you to fax it or to email it somewhere, maybe to his car. You hit send logs down here. And there it gives you an option to put a fax number in. And once you did that, you would just hit send. Or you can hit email and write an email address in there and hit send. So once you do that, then he'll have your logs. So the output file, I tell guys to only hit that whenever the officer tells you to use that. So and roadside inspections. So let's talk about this. Your the things needed for when it comes to ELDs during a roadside inspection is you've got to have 8 blank logs, okay, and you got to have a DOT reference card that tells the officer how to read your logs, okay. You also have to have a malfunction manual, which tells the driver, what do I do if my ELD stops working? And you also have to have your compliance certificate or your not compliance certificate. You don't have to have that, but you do have to have a manual. So that covers, and if you see these links down here at the bottom, you can hit that, and this gives you all the things that you need when an officer asks you. So in case you don't have it, if you don't have all that stuff ready in your permit book or somewhere, wherever you keep a file for inspections, um, digital copies of bills of lading and logs and all that is acceptable. So if they ask for a permit, if they ask to see your license, anything, a digital copy is acceptable. Okay, so so when you click on these links here, that'll keep you from getting those log violations or ELD violations. So we'll get out of the inspection mode, and let's go to safety. On safety is you get to see your safety score. ELD does track your driving. It tracks your braking. It tracks your cornering. It tracks a lot of stuff. And it measures, how you're doing. So just, you might want to check that sometime, and it kind of rates you against the other guys in your fleet. So, or I don't know if this is just a fleet or what. So, and then messages, we already went through that. Now, here's something that's very, very good. That is documents. Now, some companies will have, you turn in your paperwork at the end of the week with your trip sheets and what have you, and that's it. Where some will require you to send that paperwork every day because some billing has to be done. Customers want it done within 24 hours. So in our case, So we're going to have to send some documents to our billing. So we'll take our I'm going to take a I'm going to treat this as a bill of lading, but it's not. So what you would do is if you want to send a document, you just go to documents there. You hit the blue circle with the plus sign. All right, in the bottom right. Then it's going to ask you what type of document you're going to be sending. So you hit the little arrow and you can select bill of lading, accident, citation, scale ticket, other, and fuel receipt. All right, so let's just say it's a bill of lading. All right, here it comes up and it gives you the date. And then what you'll want to do is you'll tap a reference and enter your bill of lading number. And then your notes, whatever it may be. And then just hit your check or save. Oh, I got to add a photo, but you do that and then you hit add photo. And now you're going to get a selection of take a photo or select an existing photo. Well, if you were in an accident and you were taking a bunch of pictures with your phone, then you could do this to select those pictures in your phone by selecting an existing photo. But what you're going to want to do is take a photo. So just tap on take a photo, and let's just say this is a bill of lading. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to get in there as good as you can, straight as you can, and clear. And then when you're done, you're set. You just take the picture. All right, now it gives you a preview, and you can say, yeah, that looks good. I like that. Okay, so you hit the check mark. And that will, this is going to get ready to send it to, when you hit save, it'll send it to your billing department or your dispatcher or whatever. All right, so you have that. Now, same thing applies. Let's do another one with, let's say, a fuel receipt. All right. Now, the fuel receipt's a little different, and what we require is that the volume be, the gallons be put in and the total cost. All right. So you have to be very careful when you're putting gallons in, because if you get a decimal wrong, then it could show that you picked up, instead of 50 gallons, it could show that you picked up 500 gallons. So, and that really messes things up. So you would just enter that information, value and cost, and if your company, whatever they want you to or require you to put in there, and then you just hit save. But in this instance, I'm just going to hit cancel since we're not entering nothing. All right. So once we've sent that document, then you're done with your documents. So usually, guys will do that at the end of the day, or you may be required to do it after every delivery. On your help and support, when you tap help and support, let me let this come up here. It gives you a chance to live chat or go to a help center. All right. So everybody knows what live chat is, which I'm not going to say that it's very helpful to do a live chat. And the help center, well, if you go to help center, you should have some topics here that for questions. These are like general assistance, like how to set up your ELD, and your, to know about compliance, how to troubleshoot issues, driver safety, those things. I won't read them all to you. So then we'll just back out of that and go back up to the hamburger. Now, settings, I'm not going to worry about settings, because in most cases, unless you own the ELD and the app, you're not going to be able to change settings because they're set by your company. So we'll hit the hamburger again and we're going to go back to home. All right. And I want to focus on some important stuff here. So let's say that you were asked to change a bill of lading number on a load that you picked up last Friday. Okay. So what you would do is you're on your main page here. You go down here to Friday and tap that. All right. And then you would hit form. And then down on form, you could go down and change all of that or change the bill of lading number. So if it was something you want to enter today, so let's say you just got loaded and you got your bill of lading and you're in your truck, you just tap your log grid there for today, and then you tap form, which is short for form and manner. All right. And then you would go to your shipping documents. Okay. So on your shipping documents, you tap that line and you would correct it. And that would be it. All right. That would be your general. Okay. And then if there was something you needed to your carrier or whatever, then you could change that, and also your co-driver information if you're running team. So pretty easy. And then you hit save and you're done with that. Now, because you made a change, it's going to require you to sign. If you don't go ahead and sign now, it's going to show a red circle later. So you just go ahead and hit that, and sign, and agree, and you're good. And then hit the back button. So if in our program, that we always require a pre-trip and a post-trip. So whenever you go to log out of your vehicle at the end of the day, it's not going to let you do that until you do a post-trip. So, but we're not there yet, I guess. But also, some things I wanted to show you is log editing. So if you hit, I'm going to tap on the grid again today, and this is a list of all the duty status changes that I've had for Wednesday, September 27th. Okay, so let's say that I needed to take this off-duty event at 8:51 this morning. I'll tap that and then hit edit. All right, so if I need to change this to a different duty status, like on duty or driving or sleeper berth, which, we run day cabs, so we wouldn't use sleeper berth. Well, we do have one or a couple sleepers. But anyway, so you would do that and you would do your start time, adjust your start time if you need to, or your end time. Well, actually, I don't think you can with that because they're both locks. If you see the times, it's got little padlocks by each one of them. All right. So you would do that duty status change, and then a note, just put the reason why you made the change. And then hit save. And that takes you, or that goes ahead and changes your duty status. So let's go ahead and hit this circle in the bottom right-hand corner. And you're going to have an option to change your current duty status, insert a past duty status, or add a remark. So we can do it. Let's enter a past duty status. So we'll tap that. Now you're going to see that you can edit this log. Okay. So you can adjust your times by taking the bottom of this, the flags. You can do it that way, or you can do it in here in the box. So we're going to change the start time to, what I usually do is I take this top flag and slide it as far as I can, which that's all it's going to let me because it's not even, 402 hasn't happened yet. So I can change the start time to, let's say the hour would be 1:15. or well, 2:11. That's fine. So 2:11 and 1 second, and then I hit I'll hit done. So I changed that, and then I can change this end time to 3 o'clock. We'll just change it to 3:01 p.m. and then hit done. Now once I've made those changes, I can select the duty status change. Now, one thing with the driving events, if you manually put in a driving event, you're allowed to change that event. Okay. But if it's a recorded driving event that your truck says that you're driving, those driving events can't be changed. So if you try, the only option you're going to have is D. So it won't let you. So with that duty, with that log edit, and then we'll hit the location, and it'll find my location, and then I'll just put in notes and hit save, and there we go. So that's gonna make me sign my. Well, this is today's log, so it won't make me sign it right away. So along with the duty status changes, sometimes you're going to have issues where KeepTruckin lags, and sometimes I can send a message and a driver would get it right away, and sometimes I can make a change on a log and it takes several minutes. If this is you and you're wanting to kind of help that log change come or whatever come over, let me get out of this for a minute. Then hit on duty and then just back out. And what that does is it almost forces it to update. Or you can just slide down on your app and make your phone make it update itself. So that's what it's waiting for, because sometimes it does take quite a bit of time to do that. So with that, I think that's everything. Now, let's take a look at our clocks. So up in the top right hand corner, you see the clock. So you just tap that, and you've got your it lets you know what your hours you're running on, which is 70-hour 8-day. It lets you know how much time you got before your break, how much time before you're driving up, how much on shift, and how much on cycle. Okay. And if you're not running a sleeper, I wouldn't mess with that, show split clocks. And another thing, because that's kind of hard for a lot of people, run into errors trying to run that. But you can't legally do it with a day cab. So, and then your rest of your hours of service recap is down here. All right. So then to get out of that, you just slide right. Excuse me. So I think that is everything that we need to cover. But like I said, always, on your pre-trip and stuff, and make sure that your stuff is good, and that if an officer pulls you over and he asks for those logbook, the stuff required for an ELD, that you have them in this phone, you have them on this app, so that saves you from getting a form and manner or ELD violation. So let's go ahead and log out of 132. Okay. Now, something to remember whenever you do a pre-trip or post-trip, that is an on-duty status. So if you go ahead and log off duty before you go ahead and do your post-trip, it's going to kick you back onto on duty. And if you don't catch it, you're going to stay on duty all night. So you just want to make sure that you do it, because otherwise in the morning you're going to have to do a log edit first thing. So anyway, we clicked on the vehicle and we're going to leave current vehicle. So let's tap the leave current vehicle, and you see that it requires a post trip. So we're going to continue with that. And again, like we had went over before, if there was a defect, you would hit parts, but there's no defect. So we're going to hit sign, and then sign comes up and sign inspection report, hit done and hit save. And then vehicle complete, hit yes. We're not going to enter a trailer. And so just hit next and hit sign, sign, done, save. And there we're done. So now we're still on duty. So the last thing we want to make sure that we do is go in there. You tap your on duty status, come in here and go off duty, and then put in your notes. You don't even really have to put in a note because you just did your pre-trip. It does not require a note always, so you just hit that and hit save. And now you're off duty and you're ready to go home for the night. So as for when you do duty status changes, it's important to put, what you've done, okay, in your notes. So like when you fuel and when you get loaded and when you get unloaded, when you make those duty status changes, it's best to put a note in there. So other than that, that's done. That's everything to go over with the KeepTruckin app. So I wish you well.